one win against a big team yet. So we'll see what happens in the next round.
Yeah, Michael, you can make the point it's only New Zealand, but the way that the fixtures fell, they get to play them last. And for a team that was relatively low on confidence, given the way that they played in the first couple of games, for them to go into the round of 32 on the back of a big win and some big players scoring goals, most notably Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne as well, that's got to make them feel much better about their chances.
Yeah, goal scoring has been an issue for Belgium. And for those of you who watched the match against Egypt, that wasn't a Romelu Lukaku goal. That was actually credited as an own goal. So going back to the 2022 World Cup, Adam, they hadn't scored a goal since the opening group match against Canada when Michy Batshuayi scored against the Canadians. That's a hell of a long time to not score a goal. And so for Leandro Trossard to finally break that duck, you said the words that this was the dam that was finally going to break today. And Cello, I have to give you credit. You're 3 for 3 on your crystal ball. So whatever you had to drink, whatever hike you went on, please pass the recipe on to the rest of us. But this was a much-needed win. It restores a bit of confidence. It came against the right opponent. And when you go back, I mean, you have to go back to 2018, the last time Belgium put 5 goals on an opponent. It was at the World Cup against Panama, where the dam definitely broke then, and that was a World Cup where they were scoring goals for fun. So Rudy Garcia will be a relieved manager that they finally got this result.
Every World Cup, Marcelo, we see a team that goes on a run. Morocco was the team in Qatar, wasn't it? All the way to the semis before they lost to France. Is this a team capable of going on one of those runs?
Ooh, that's a good question, and only because we saw a little bit today, but it was against New Zealand, and with all due respect, I mean, New Zealand came out, they did everything they could to try, but you always need that one win that builds that confidence. So it depends on their pathway into a quarterfinal. You know what I mean? I think it depends who they run into. But I could flip a coin today and I'd say yes. Tomorrow I could say no, because it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. One day they show up and one day they don't show up. So today they showed up, and that's what we got. If they show up in the next round, then yeah, they could be a team that makes a run.
I think, if I'm right in saying, they could face the US, couldn't they? So, I mean, from putting your US men's national team hat on, how would you feel about this year?
Okay. We want revenge for the last time.
Thank you.
We want revenge. Yes. You know what? I'm a firm believer that you won't play like that twice. So yeah, why not? Bring on Belgium. Bring on Portugal. We've played them both. Why not? You know what I mean? It'd be a quarterfinal, I believe, right? It'd be into a quarterfinal of Belgium. So yeah, why not, man? I mean, this team has shown that it's a team that's growing. It's got this whole country behind them. Despite yesterday's result, everybody knew the effort they put in. It was a second team, but everybody can see the potential what this team can do. And when you go places and you go to watch parties and you hang out, you see all over the country, people are celebrating, wearing jerseys. I've never seen so many U.S. jerseys everywhere we go now. So yeah, you know what? This team, I think, is not afraid. They know how to play Belgium. They've already played them. And I think inside, if I was a player, I'd have that bug that I'd want to play them again to prove them wrong. What they did wasn't who we really are.
It would be actually the round before the quarterfinals. It'd be in the round of 16. So if they both get through,
he's thinking semifinals.
He's way ahead of that. We're already thinking about the final.
You got to believe. You got to believe, boys.
Come on. Time for a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. Plenty more coming up for you after the break.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, with the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations presented by BetMGM. Let's turn our attention to the other game in Group G. Now Egypt and Iran in Seattle finished 1-1 to mean Egypt finished second in Group G. Iran taking third. It could have been a famous victory for Iran. A late goal was ruled out in the end for offside. It was very, very close, but only just. So Belgium finished top of the group by virtue of a better goal difference, +4 versus +2 for Egypt. Iran 3 points from 3. Almost the converse, guys, for Egypt compared to what we were talking about with Belgium. They finished the group, Belgium, with a good win, a resounding win, taking the confidence into the knockouts. Egypt, pretty good in the first 2 games, but then very disappointing against a team you would expect a side with all of the quality that they have, Marcelo, to be beating.
Yeah, listen, I think that they haven't really showed their best yet, Egypt, right? And then all of a sudden you start playing, you go up, they counter on you and score real quick again. And then Mo Salah goes out, he gets injured, your leader, your orchestrator there. So, yeah, I think they're going in, they're limping in. They're limping into the next round. And to be honest, I'm not sure how far they can get right now. Watching them play, they were okay. But when you lose your captain, they were average at best. I think when you watch the game, the second half, I think almost Iran was a little bit better than them. They were moving around. A pinky toe, they were offside. You know, that's not what VAR was invented for. But with a pinky toe away, they were one step away from being number 2 in that group and getting Egypt into that 3rd place.
Do you feel like, Michael, I mean, we have to almost mark a line in the sand. This is the first time they've ever got out of the groups at a World Cup. So that is an amazing achievement for Egypt. But it sort of feels a bit like they won, getting that first win was then almost a curse after that. Did it get too much for them? How do you explain the fact that they won the first game and then weren't able to follow it up?
Well, we have to look at it in context. And you are right, this is the first time they've ever qualified for the knockout round of a World Cup competition. So congratulations to all my Egyptian friends in Cairo and Alexandria, and congratulations to the Egyptian football fan base. This is a big milestone. Now, you get into the weeds of it, you get into how they got into the knockout round, and for me, you said it, Cello, they backed their way into this. What a letdown for me personally, seeing the heroics of how they got the win against, New Zealand, where they had to come back, show their character. Mohamed Salah gets a goal. You're thinking, okay, wait a second. Egypt can go and win this group. They had every single thing in their locker to win this group, and they let a golden opportunity go by the wayside because now you're playing the Russian roulette. of the next round of the draw, of where you're going to be in the bracket. And for me, just not enough players showed up on today. Mohamed Salah, okay, he created some half chances, but a very quiet performance. And there is some worry about the timing of him coming off the field again. But it's not just him. Now you have another injury to the back line in Mohamed Abdelrahman, who he had suffered an ACL injury and missed almost 60 games.
Wow.
He comes back, he gets a start in the World Cup, and now that's one of your top defenders who plays in Ligue 1, who's potentially going to miss more time. We don't know what the extent of the injury is, but he comes off after 14 minutes, and it just seems like the wheels were kind of shaking a bit and wobbly, and VAR, they really saved Egypt today because the way Egypt played, the way Iran forced themselves and willed themselves back into this game, maybe controversial, but Egypt did not deserve to get a draw today, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to say playing in a World Cup, we had a plan, okay, in '94. And when we hit that plan, we weren't planning on beating Colombia. We'll put it that way. It happened. And after we reached that goal, there was a letdown the next game. You know what I mean? Because once you obtain that goal of we made it, we had a little bit of a letdown, like, okay, we're already into the next round, and we kind of dropped our intensity. Romania came and they took it. That's kind of what I felt like Egypt did. They knew they were already in. All they needed was a point, so they kind of just dropped the level. They just played enough to get the draw. Barely at the end got the draw, but it wasn't the same team. And sometimes when you do reach that, we made it, we're out of the group, we're going to get in the next round, there's a letdown, and I felt like that's what I saw today.
Well, at one point, I think it was at half-time, they were finishing top of the group in the live standings. They would have gone through. It's Australia for them in the round of 32, who obviously we've seen quite closely watching the US men's national team beat them 2-0 in what I would describe as a hard-fought game. It wasn't the easiest game for the US side in the group stage. How do you think they'll feel about that one?
I think they'll be a little bit nervous because the one thing watching them play in the recent AFCON, Egypt actually thrived being a team that sits back, absorbs pressure, and hits on the counter. The one thing that has been their bogey or playing against styles of play has been breaking a low block. Yet again, they struggled to break a low block against Iran in how Iran invited pressure in. And against Australia, if I'm Hossein Hassan, you have to adapt. We talked about Loco Bielsa not willing to adapt. It just felt like Hassan was just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping individual moments of brilliance bailed them out. In the first half against New Zealand, very fortunate because New Zealand had them dead to rights. And then to his credit, he was able to adapt in the second half. I thought the way he moved Mohamed Salah around, moved Zico around. But today, he got his tactics completely wrong. Great early start to get the goal, but then dodgy goalkeeping, defenders and midfielders not knowing how to impact the game. So they got to figure out a way how to break down a low block out of it.
It was good in the air, good on set piece. Irakunde is a guy that'll fly. Touré's going to fly. This is a team that'll hit you quickly on counterattack. So, and I like the fact, you know what? Australia has their identity, and they're okay with it. It's you have the ball, have it. Send bodies. We're going to defend, and we're going to hit you on a counterattack. But they're comfortable not having the ball. Egypt wants the ball. So what Egypt going to do? They're going to send bodies. Everything Australia wants. So I tell you what, that sets up for Australia better than the U.S. game.
Yeah. It should be an interesting encounter. From Iran's perspective, I think they obviously came into the World Cup probably looking at this group thinking, let's try and finish third. Give ourselves at least a chance of getting into the knockout phase. They'll have to wait to see exactly if they do qualify and who they'll face. But they were in the fight today, weren't they, Michael? I mean, they were, as Cello said, a toenail away from winning the game.
Yeah, I've just been floored and amazed at just the character that this Iranian side has showed with what's happening outside of football and just some of the just how that can impact you as a player, for lack of a better word, and how that can be something that can make you lose your focus. But if anything, it's brought this group of players together. And you could see the inspiration that they had in the last match where they played at SoFi in Inglewood in California, where there's a massive Persian population. You think of the Persians in Glendale, you think of the Persians all around Southern California. And for the first time in a while, it just felt like the noise outside of the stadium wasn't a factor. And today, you could just see the belief growing even after they missed the penalty, where Mediterranean, it was a poor penalty. You could feel the weight of the world on his shoulders when he stepped up to take it. Didn't look confident, but this is why being a team, this is why being bound together, this is why being a band of brothers is so important in difficult situations. I've been there in Africa. I've been there on the international level when there's political situations going on, and football can change lives. Football can give hope. And I hope, against all odds, Iran can book their ticket to the knockout round. I think they've been deserving, given everything that's happening outside the field.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the remaining group games to see if Iran do make it through to the knockout phase. Time for a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. See you in a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. We're going to focus now on that rather nervous battle to finish inside the magic number and qualify for the round of 32 as one of the third-place teams. This is the table as it stands at the moment. You can see those top 5 teams that have got a Q next to their name. They're already through. They've done enough, sitting on 4 points, although Senegal have got 3, but because of their better goal difference, they know they are through. So we're going to focus on the teams towards the bottom. Some of them inside, some of them on the outside looking in. So Croatia, South Korea, Algeria and Scotland. We'll start with Croatia, who are on 3 points from a couple of games with a -1 goal difference. They're looking forward to their final group game against Ghana. What's the feeling here, Marcelo? Do you think Croatia will get the job done against Ghana and then move through to the round of 32?
I think Ghana's going to win. Be honest with you, I think Ghana, the way they've been playing, Croatia, I mean, barely squeaked by Panama. They played so well. So I see Ghana giving them a hard time. I see Ghana being able to exploit the wings with their pace. I see Croatia in third place.
It's funny because a lot of people, Michael, when they looked at this group, when it was drawn, thought it was England and Croatia were comfortably the better teams. Although I agree with what Cello's saying. They weren't very good in the England game, where they got back into it, made it 2-2, but England overran them in that one. And they just don't seem to have the fluidity that we've seen in the past from a Croatia team who were always dangerous to play.
Yeah, I think it's an aging group that maybe just don't have the legs that they used to. This was the Croatia side when Luka Modric wasn't 40 years old, and you wind back, hey, there he is, Luka. He is. Let's just brush off the hair. No, when he was much younger, much more mobile, and it's a testament to his professionalism that he's still able to get around the pitch. I said coming into this World Cup that the big thing and the big storyline to focus on is this upcoming generation. You think of Martin Baturina, friend of the network. You think of Petr Sucic, who won the double with Inter. Those players, they've had their moments, but they need to take a game and grab it by the scruff of the neck. I actually think that this could be the game to unlock a stubborn Ghanaian back line. I can see where the concerns are, because Croatia, the big thing that they struggled with, one player that I thought was very poor and came off at halftime is Joško Gvardiol. Uncharacteristically poor from him in the recent match. A player who needs to be at his best to maybe snuff out some of the counterattacks from Ghana, because they have some speedsters. You think of Iñaki Williams. I wouldn't say one of the Ayew brothers, because he's been poor for Leicester City and for Ghana for the most part. But there is some speed off the bench for the Ghanaians. But Croatia's biggest enemy is not being clinical enough in the final third. Okay, Ante Budimir can score goals in La Liga, scored the game-winning goal against Panama, but you really need someone to take responsibility of scoring goals for Croatia to get out of third and get into second and maybe make another dark horse run.
Yeah, that's the thing. They do have it still all on the table. Unlikely, but they could still technically win the group, depending on what England do in their game against Panama. What would it mean for Croatia if they don't get through, Cello? What would that say about football and where it's going in this country?
Listen, generations come and go, okay? Sometimes we ride a generation for too long, hence the 2018 U.S. national team. We rode that generation, and look what happened. We didn't qualify. This team here with Modric, he can't pull the strings like he used to. He's not doing what we saw him do 4 years ago, so I get that. But I think if they don't get into the knockout, if they happen to lose, they don't make it through, then now you've got to start looking at bringing in some younger players. You got to start looking at rebuilding this team, because Croatia has always been up here when we talk about soccer. So they're still there. They just probably need a few younger souls in that team.
Okay, let's have a look at South Korea now. Been a bit of a disappointing campaign for them so far, hasn't it? They haven't really achieved what we thought that they might. They do have some talented players in their squad and in their team, and these are the qualification scenarios for them. And 2 of these 3 have to happen, as you can see at the bottom there. They need Algeria to lose against Austria, DR Congo to draw or lose against Uzbekistan, and Croatia must lose in their game against Ghana. So it's not looking very good for South Korea, is it, Michael?
No, it's really disappointing, Adam. And you think of the heroics in the opening game against Czechia, where I was starting to think, okay, maybe I was wrong about South Korea. I wasn't too high on South Korea. And that might sound a bit crazy because they have this fella in Son Heung-min, who's been the gold standard for Korean football and Asian football as a whole. But ever since after the U.S. men's national team friendly, Cello, he hasn't looked like himself when he's put on the Korean national team jersey. In my opinion, there's a bit of friction. It seems like some friction, at least, between him and the head coach, Hyung-min Bo. And they're 2 legends, and Bo making some big decisions.
You know why, though, right?
Why is that?
LA Galaxy.
Okay. That might be one of the reasons there. But it's so disappointing because this switch to a 3-4-3 doesn't fit South Korea as a whole. You can see the discomfort. You can see the lack of ideas in the final third. And I would be shocked if they get 2 out of 3 of these to happen. For me, their World Cup is done. I don't see them making it.
The sun is setting, unfortunately.
There we go.
The sun is setting.
That's why we pay the big bucks.
No, but listen, in MLS sees 0 goals, 9 assists. When he came in, he tore it up. Now, you know what I mean? Sometimes it just doesn't click. You know, players go up and they have good months, bad months. They're not feeling it. I just don't see him being the same player when he puts on the South Korea jersey anymore. And he's getting up there. He can still play. I mean, he's at a high level with MLS and what he's doing with LAFC, but where he goes, that team goes, and that he's not playing well, and that team's not playing well right now.
Yeah, still a legend, though. What an international career. He's been their talisman for so long. Let's kick it on to Algeria. They're probably happy just to even have a chance here because we saw them against Argentina and the great Messi in the first game. They had absolutely no clue how to stop him. Well, they didn't stop him, did he? Because he scored a hat-trick. This is the qualification scenario for them. They've got to beat Austria, and any other result other than a win over Austria means they will be eliminated. I think going into the tournament, Michael, a few people had Algeria as maybe not a dark horse, but a team that could cause some of the bigger teams trouble. And I think we're surprised at how poorly they played against Argentina. Have they redeemed themselves a bit since then?
Yeah, look, I think getting some of the young players with up-and-coming big profiles, you think of Ibrahim Massa, who will be the face of this Algerian national team. I just think that this competition, the World Cup, comes one cycle too soon for Algeria. I'm hoping to be proved wrong with the performance against Austria, but there's just this inherent question mark I have over the goalkeeping situation. We've seen Zidane have a couple wobbles. He should get the Golden Boot or share of it if Messi wins it, because I thought he was really poor. I thought he had a hand in that 3-0 defeat to the hands of Argentina. But players like Bentaleb, maybe there's still some magic in the boots of Riyad Mahrez coming off the bench. But overall, as Ibrahim Massa goes, this Algerian side really goes. I don't think that this will be the World Cup to shine for them. The Africa Cup of Nations, though, keep an eye on them. They might be one of the teams to watch.
What do you reckon, Cello? Have they got, if they do manage to get through, have they got any chance of turning it on?
Watching Austria play, I just feel like they've got a little more. You know what I mean? I feel like they've got a little more.
I don't see them
Algeria.
beating Austria.
Yeah,
I don't either.
I'm with you.
So I think this team is maybe a cycle away, maybe a World Cup away. Maybe this is their World Cup to get all this experience with the younger players, and they build into the next one. But I just don't see how they're going to beat Austria. Austria was very organized. They had a few wobbles too, but overall, the structure and how they play, I have a hard time seeing Algeria beating them.
Now, let's move it on to Scotland. We have a rather jumpy Scotsman at the network who occasionally wears a kilt onto this show. May, if he is watching, want to turn off the TV for a few minutes while we go through this one, because it's looking fairly unlikely, shall we say. Qualification scenarios for Scotland. Yeah. Ghana must beat Croatia by 3+ goals. Uzbekistan draw or win against DR Congo, but it must be less than 3 goals. And Austria must beat Algeria by 2 or more goals. Probably not going to happen, is it, Michael? And actually, when you look at the way that Scotland played in those games, they did beat the team they should beat, which is obviously Haiti. Yeah. But not by enough. They needed to be a bit more attacking in that game.
Yeah, I mean, you literally talk about threading the needle to have every single thing happen, but football is a crazy game. I just think that every single Scotsman and our crazy Scotsman here at the network, Ian Joy, all they've heard and everything that we're talking about, they're saying, so you're saying there's a chance.
And we will literally never hear the end of it if they do this.
Oh, you hear him screaming from down the hall. Ah! No, this is impossible. I don't see this happening. And just every single result just about today stacking up, but there's still hope. I think Algeria would have to fall off a cliff. Every single team would have to fall off a cliff.
You'd almost say even one of these.
I'll put on a kilt if Scotland makes it through. All right, how's that? I'll put on the kilt. I don't see how they're going to do it. Listen, they had a hard time against Haiti, and I just don't see where they're going to get enough for all of this to happen and fall in. This would be all the stars falling into place on one day. I just don't see it happening.
A lot of criticism in Scotland for the way that Steve Clarke has perhaps approached this. Clearly, the defensive style and the low block was probably the way they needed to play to get it done against Haiti. And we don't want to criticise him too much. He did win that game, and it wasn't a foregone conclusion. But then they offered so little in the games against Brazil and Morocco. Did he go about this the right way?
I think he went about it completely wrong against Brazil. It almost seemed like he thought he was coaching Brazil, trying to get his back line to play out of the back. Cello, what's the old adage when you're
talking
playing
about Morocco and Brazil?
when you're
you gotta be kidding me.
Like literally, you have Henry, you have Robbo, you have all these defenders literally trying to. Adam, hey, come here, Jogo Bonito, I'll pass it around you.
Yeah.
No, come here, I'll pass it around you, Cello. You can't be doing that. You set up his team for absolute embarrassment and failure. And he got found out. And I'd have to say, Scotland, for as amazing an achievement this is, you see it with the Tartan Army, it's been a while now where Steve Clark is kind of just said, let's go all out defend. Let's just abandon some of our previous principles of having an actual identity. Where going into the previous Euros, they actually played good football. And this World Cup, it just seemed pragmatic and reactive in his coaching. And one thing I'll say, I'm not a big fan of his reaction after the match.
Out in the
it was very childish for me. It says a lot about him right now.
Listen, I'm never going to question, because sitting here watching TV, and a lot of people do this, they think they have all the answers. It's not your job on the line. It's not your job to put a team together. You've got to do what best fits your team. How would you play if you were Scotland against Brazil?
Not bad.
I would play a low block. I'm not going to open myself up for these guys to come beat me. I don't know if Scotland has the team to be able to compete, really compete. So I understand why he played a low block, and I think a lot of coaches come into this thinking, if I play a low block, if I get out of the Brazil game, if I get out of this game 1-0, it gives me an opportunity somewhere to get 3 points. So I'm not going to judge that. I just think that most teams nowadays, Australia, Austria, you see that low block, and you've got to have special talent to be able to quickly transition into the offensive side. Australia has those players. Scotland doesn't.
Okay, let's go back to our live third-place table. So this is as it stands going into Saturday's matches. Obviously, as you can see, some teams have played 2 games, others have played 3 and are finished in terms of the group stages. Who makes it and who misses out, Michael?
Look, I still think Iran has done enough to get through and punch their ticket, solely because, like we were all sitting there saying, I just don't see Algeria getting the result to get through and beating Austria. I just don't see it. And I hope I'm wrong, because that would be good for African football to get another team. And Scotland, there's that saying, no Scotland, no party. Well, the party's going to continue. There's just going to be no Scotland here. That's not going to happen. And DR Congo, man. DR Congo, we've seen them do the unthinkable against Nigeria, but now they got to come out of their defensive shell. So it's DR Congo's place to lose. I see DR Congo getting in, Korea getting out. So Scotland, Korea, Algeria, adios, go home.
So you're going to have Iran, Croatia, and DR Congo are your 3 who make it. Cello?
Nice. Yeah, I can see South Korea dropping out. I can see Scotland dropping a little bit more. I think Congo will. I think Congo will jump in there. I think that I think Croatia is going to stay there. I think Iran's going to stay, and I think the big surprise will be is when South Korea drops down below that level.
Okay. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think South Korea, they had it in their hands, and ultimately they're going to fail. So we'll have to wait and see over the course of Saturday to see what pans out. Time for a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. We've got plenty more coming up after the break.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption. on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. The group stages at the World Cup 2026 almost over. We've got one more day's worth of games to get through. So we thought we'd choose our storylines of the tournament so far. And Michael, it's your turn to go first.
Yeah, I'm going to start on a high and really end on, well, I'm actually not starting a high. I'm going to bring the mood down a bit. So I know that we're talking about Cinderella stories, and we started the evening talking about the beauty of the World Cup, the beauty of Cape Verde stories, but I'm going to go the other direction. I've been very, very disappointed in a couple of teams, two teams in particular, and it begs the question now, who's been the biggest disappointment of this World Cup? Turkey, who was the group, or the team that was picked to win the group of the U.S. men's national team, they came in dead last, eliminated Adam. And okay, they showed a bit of the quality against the U.S. in that third match, albeit against a very rotated side from Mauricio Pochettino. But I think Vincenzo Montella is under immense pressure now. This is not good enough from him. It's not good enough from the players. And they need to re-examine a lot of things in Turkish football right now. And Uruguay, we said it before, if Marcelo Bielsa is the manager a week from now, there's even bigger problems than what we saw at this World Cup. Back-to-back World Cups where they get grouped. And when you go back to what they used to be, before the 2022 World Cup, Adam, they'd won 6 of 7 matches going into that World Cup. Since the 2022 World Cup, 1 win in their last 7 matches as a national team. So Uruguayan football, it is on a highway to hell right now.
Yeah, two teams that really need to improve things for the next World Cup. Marcelo, what have you chosen? What's your storyline?
You know what? I'm going to go with a 39-year-old GOAT. Let's figure who that is. I'm going to go with Messi, only because he got so much stick for coming to MLS. So he's not going to be able to play at the level at a World Cup because he's playing in MLS. And the fact that he's come out and scored 3 in one game, 2 in another game, probably going to play tomorrow, maybe a little bit. But you got a guy who is 39 and still one of the best players in the world at this World Cup, controlling, dominating. And when you talk about that, you talk about a guy who takes care of himself. You talk about a team who plays for him. And you talk about a guy at 39 who is probably mentally stronger than most 25-year-olds right now. So I think for me, the storyline is just watching what he's been doing and what can he do, because it's very difficult nowadays to repeat as champions. Ask France. They got there twice. They won one, they lost one. Argentina has an opportunity, but it will be very difficult with the teams in this World Cup.
Yeah, to find any lingering doubts that there were perhaps prior to the World Cup beginning, he's got rid of all of those. My storyline of the tournament so far, I've gone for Cape Verde. Who else? One of us had to choose them. I think it's absolutely fabulous. What did we say? That they were a country with a population the same size of Colorado Springs. Shout out to Colorado Springs, by the way.
Sponsor of the show now.
Yes, exactly. It's just a wonderful story. These photos of the players celebrating, the fans celebrating. They got the ball rolling with a wonderful draw against Spain, 0-0. I think some people thought, well, okay, that's the first game. Spain weren't at their best. There's no way that they're going to be able to back it up. And then they did, to be able to get the draw that they needed against Uruguay and put themselves in a situation that they even could qualify after that final game. And I mean, we've got 3 there, but there's so many more amazing things that they've achieved. And fingers crossed that they'll be able to continue that wonderful run. What do you guys think?
They've had a great run. There's always a Cinderella story in every World Cup, and Cabo Verde has been it. Now they'll be tested. One, they're getting out of the group. They hit this milestone of getting out their first goal, but now you got to play Messi. Can you control yourself playing Messi, watching Messi? Because most people grew up watching him play. And when you get that opportunity, you get that awe moment. You know, when you're on the field, that like, I'm in awe, I see him. Can they get past that really quick and just play their game? And if they do what they normally do, it should be an interesting game.
Adam, I think Vozinha hit 20 million, maybe 25 million followers for his performance against Spain. If he does that against Messi in Argentina,
he'll be at 100 million.
I'll follow him if he does that against Argentina.
He'll have more followers than Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Time for a short break here on Golazo. Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. We're going to focus on the groups that haven't been completed yet. 3 of them to be decided, all on Saturday. The couple of games in Group L kicks off at 5 p.m. Eastern. Croatia taking on Ghana, Panama, England. Then it's Group K after that, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for both of those games. Colombia, Portugal, which should be a good one. DR Congo taking on Uzbekistan. And then Group J, the last one to be decided, 10 p.m. Eastern for Algeria, Austria, and Jordan versus Lionel Messi and Argentina. We're going to start with Group L. Who's going to win this group, Michael, do you think? Is this England's to lose?
Yeah, it's definitely England's to lose. I don't see it happening because Panama, look, they probably got the better of Ghana, just not on the scoreboard, but this is going to be too much to handle. I know there's some concerns, though, with the health or the lack thereof of maybe a Reece James. Declan Rice, we'll see, but this is why you have players like a Bukayo Saka hopefully coming back, reported that he's back in training. And for everything that Harry Kane didn't do, and maybe some bad juju put on him, maybe a little voodoo and hex, the voodoo has been taken off at him. The witch doctor said himself, no more voodoo for you, he said. So Harry Kane is going to bang in some goals. And come on, England! Come on, England!
Come on, indeed. I think most people, Cello, have got England to win the group. But the interesting one here is who's going to finish second and third.
Ghana!
Whoa!
Okay. I'm going Ghana. I'm going to surprise you. I went England, Ghana, Croatia, and then Panama. Watching them play, there's just something interesting about them. And I think that they're going to give Croatia a run for their money. And maybe it's a tie, maybe, I don't know, but I just have a funny feeling that Ghana's going to come second in that group.
Yeah, it's not necessarily pretty to watch, but Carlos Queiroz has got them playing really defensive football. Let's move it on to Group K. We've got Colombia, Portugal, DR Congo, and Uzbekistan. Michael.
Yeah, look, Colombia have a big problem, and his name is James Rodriguez, and we've never said that before. Yeah. And James Rodriguez has been an excellent service to the national team. He's been an absolute icon for Colombian football, but it's coming to the end of the road for him. And Nestor Lorenzo has a difficult decision to make, is do you have the guts to bench the captain of the national team? And I don't think the answer is yes. So James is going to continue to play, and that's going to be to the detriment of Colombia. It's a big opportunity to top the group. They're in the driver's seat right now, but is there something about Portugal? Maybe that match against Uzbekistan was just what they needed, the tonic, the smelling salt to wake them up a bit, to maybe get massive 3 points. I pick Portugal to get the better of Colombia because of the James situation.
It's actually one of the games of the group stage. It's hard to call, especially the way that Colombia have played so far. Who do you see getting the better of it?
I have Colombia. All they need is a tie. That's all they need tomorrow. So I have Colombia, Portugal right underneath that. So I just feel that right now they're due. Reaching Copa America finals, losing to Argentina. They've been so close. James still has something in the legs. So, and they've given him a little bit more of a free role to run around and to just kind of find spaces. So they were my dark horses. This is the team I picked that could be the outside team that can get in and can do something. So I'm going to stick to them winning the group.
Yeah, they're going to have to save it all. But if James Rodriguez and Lucho Diaz is playing well, they could really cause an upset against Cristiano Ronaldo in that one. And Portugal. Let's get on to Group J. So Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan in this one. Messi to dominate again?
Yeah, Messi to dominate. Messi.
Rumor has it he's not starting tomorrow.
Okay.
He's not starting tomorrow.
Julian Alvarez maybe to dominate. I think this could be Julian Alvarez's coming out party at this version of the World Cup.
Nico Paz.
Oh man, he could use more minutes. He could use a goal. He could use a bit more quality. Because I think since the end of the Serie A season, I hasn't been as impressed with Nico Paz as he showed, and we cover him here at the Golazo Network, as he showed glimpses throughout the season with Como. But Julian Alvarez, that back and forth between him and Lautaro Martinez, we could see both of them start this match. I'd love to see that, to see what life after Messi looks like. But playing against the Jordan side, that they're here, congrats, you made it to a World Cup. It's time to go. Argentina, they will steamroll Jordan.
Austria, I've been quite impressed with so far.
Yeah, I have them second. I have them second. So this is a team, again, I think they've surprised some people. And when you look at them, can they do something interesting in the later rounds? I guess it depends on who they get matched up against. Do they have a matchup yet? Is it? No? Do we have a matchup?
No, that's not confirmed
yet. It's not confirmed yet. So I think we'll wait and see who they match up against. But listen, it's a different class when you talk about Argentina. Completely different class.
It could be Spain, depending on the way it goes.
Could be Spain. So then again, I say probably not. I mean, it's very difficult. Spain's getting better and better and better. So, but Austria's very organized. They've got good players. So, yeah, I could see them giving somebody, whoever they play, a hard time.
OK, well, we'll have to wait and see if all of that pans out on Saturday with a bumper day of games, 6 of them to look forward to. Thanks for joining us here on Scoreline 48 Nations, presented by BetMGM. We'll see you on Golazo Network very soon.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family.